Hello everyone and welcome to North Korea Best Korea Episode 4. You join us with Pyongyang having grown to an amazing 90,000 inhabitants. As you'll notice, I've gone through and in many places named districts after suggestions that were placed in the last video. Still need a few more suggestions, so happy to have any if you can provide them. I've also gone through and made some extensive modifications to the city. We have more pathways that cross the river at a few vital locations, for example here, and as you can see, pretty heavily used by the good citizens of Pyongyang. The university district we were building up last time has expanded shore to shore and now is a pretty massive residential and commercial area, as you can see. We've expanded across to the left. We're starting to build up a whole new province here of housing, commercial interests and so on. And in the south, spread across to a special city. This Nampo special city will be the heart of a project that you'll see in the next video. In the next video we will be looking at a scheme to take on the imperialists' plans for North Korea head first. We will confront them on their home territory. But you'll have to wait to next episode for that. Meanwhile, over here we have begun a project to glorify Dear Leader. What is this project, I hear you ask? Well, so far there is nothing in particular I have realized about Pyongyang that really speaks to the power of Dear Leader, except of course for our little prison camp here. Everybody in this prison camp is sick. Some of them are sick and on fire. I guess that's unfortunate. One of the reasons they're sick is that the extensive military checkpoints here require careful vetting of all the cars, and as you can see there's a little bit of a traffic jam here. But nothing is too good for the security of the good people of Pyongyang from the miscreants who inhabit Camp 17. We've also developed a special surprise for any of those tweeters, like this Emma Phillips who is complaining about the tap water. Emma Phillips may end up having to stand against a wall, while some of the People's Army tanks use her as target practice. You'd be surprised how hard it is to hit someone with a tank shell, even up close. Wow. Emma might not be surprised, well, not for too long anyway. Other than Camp 17 and the enormous flock of seagulls that watch over it daily, things are pretty good here in Pyongyang, but of course, we must glorify Dear Leader more. You see, we have a grand plan. I have found a picture of Dear Leader, a drawing, and we are going to recreate that drawing in the wonderful world of Pyongyang so that even from space everyone will be able to admire his cuddly features, his soft curves, his attractive jowls. It's going to take me a while to build that, so you'll just have to hang tight while we get on with that. It's probably a good time to talk about Nampo Special City. So Nampo Special City, which has its own dedicated subway lines striking across the city underneath these rings to the central visitor area here. Nampo Special City is going to get its own university, be a very high education focused facility, because we're going to need a lot of scientists. Physicists, material scientists, engineers, that sort of thing. We're going to need them for the special project next week. But without further ado, let's get on with this week's special project, giving Dear Leader something that he'll be able to stare at in Google Earth. He'll be able to watch himself from space while on the ground. It's kind of mind-blowing if you think about it. And with that, our national monument to Dear Leader is complete. The way his eyes gaze off into the distance has an almost erotic quality, I've always thought. And of course, that classic haircut, who could forget? The Jong-un, as we like to call it round here. The model for so many hairstyles of Pyongyang's grateful people. Look at this thing. Beautiful, isn't it? I think we should probably put a park on here and a bus, perhaps, so that people can tour Kim Jong-un. And we'll make it free buses. Yes, free buses for a tour of Kim Jong-un's face. Meanwhile, Nathan Workman was kind enough to remind me of an excellent district name. Dennis Rodman Square. And in fact, that's what we're going to name this area here. This area here is going to be Dennis Rodman Square, and we are going to fill it with the most amazing sports facilities known to man. Holy district, no way. Dennis Rodman Square. there is going to be some free public transport in here. Recreational use of marijuana? Of course. Pets? We'll allow pets. Taxation? All tax cuts. And lots of fantastic benefits for people living here. So in Dennis Rodman Square we have got a baseball ground, 2 soccer grounds. Can we find any more sports fields? Look at this, yet another soccer field. Plant that bad boy there. Even comes complete with posters. Thanks Dennis Rodman for your fantastic contribution to North Korean culture. We'll be adding more and more sports grounds to this square in the next episode, so that when you come back to Pyongyang you can truly enjoy a sporting and exciting holiday with your best pal. He wouldn't want it any other way. I'm Tiny Pirate and this has been North Korea Best Korea. I'll see you next episode. Until then, stay firm in your juche and loyal to dear leader.